So today I'm going to teach you how to leave with a contract on an in-person appointment. So before I jump into today's episode, if you have not been to our website, head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com. If you've ever wanted to create a real estate business where it's throwing off a ton of cash, you are making a large profit, you want to get your time back, you want to stop running around like a chicken with your head cut off and build something that is sustainable, that feeds you month after month after month, head on over to nextlevelwholesaling.com and have an assessment there for you. Basically, just go to the website. It's going to give you like a 10-minute quiz, totally confidential. No one will see it but you. And it'll basically give you a score. And once you take that, it'll be blatantly obvious of the very next thing that you need to do to take your business to the next level. So go to nextlevelwholesaling.com. Also going to start this episode with a great piece of good news from Kyle, who's also one of my private clients. So let's go ahead and listen to this good news from Kyle, and then I'll jump into the show.
I had just got another deal locked up just now. I had sold the seller's property about a year and a half ago. And he randomly called me the other day saying he wanted to sell this one. And it's worth like $250. And I got it for $180 in really good livable condition. So I'm gonna list it at $220.
So great job, Kyle. By the way, this guy is a big deal machine. I'm gonna call him a big DM. So great job, Kyle. Thank you for sharing that. And my goal for you is to do big, fat, juicy deals on a consistent basis. And so that'll be a perfect segue in today's show, which is how to leave a property with a contract on an in-person appointment. So some people, you are used to locking up deals over the phone, and that's great. I got nothing against that. But now I'm talking your belly to belly, face to face, because in my experience, this is where some of the biggest deals happen. If you've got 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000 on the line, there's nothing like being face to face on that deal. And so my wish for you is that you get that contract from a willing seller who you get to help because they've got a situation that needs solving. And because you're going to do it for them, you're going to make a nice, big, fat, juicy profit. And they're going to love you for it. So let me explain the psychology of a seller, right? They call you, maybe they have a problem, maybe you called them and they're ready to start thinking about making a move. Maybe they're not ready to sign a piece of paper today. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But a lot of sellers aren't, and they're not thinking that they're going to end that day signing a contract. Of course, you want to do a deal, right? You want to make some money. You want to help the seller and earn a nice profit in the process. So your goal is to get that contract. You want to help them as fast as possible. You want to help remove them from their pain. And they know they have pain, but you're going to help them move away from their procrastination. You don't want to force anyone to do business with you. You're not going to force anyone to do business with you. But if they're going to do business with you, you'd like it to be today, right? Who wouldn't want to get paid today? I know I do. So number one thing is understand that sellers may not feel like they are going to sign today. But right, eventually, if they're going to do business with you, you'd like that to be as soon as possible, preferably today. Now, it's not going to always happen, but I'm going to show you how to make it happen. That's also going to be the will of the seller. So I always recommend to increase your chance of getting a contract today is to build level 3 rapport. And in every sales training course or book you ever read, they'll say, build rapport, make a friend, and yada, 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 yada. And, you know, people will take that for granted. And one of the things that I really want to emphasize is there's building rapport, and then there's building really, really, really deep rapport. Light rapport, level 1 rapport is like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from New York. Where are you from? Oh, I'm also from New York. Oh, great. Congratulations. Okay, are you interested in selling your house? Okay, that's level 1 rapport. Everybody does that. It's quick. It's easy. You know, you spend 30 seconds doing it, and all of a sudden you're like in the meat and potatoes. No. You got to back this truck up. You got to take your time. You got to date. You got to ask the right questions. You got to listen. Let me tell you a quick story. So I recently had someone cold call me because they wanted to sell me a mortgage on my house. And I said, briefly, I said, hey, I'm not really looking for a mortgage right now, but if you could find me a big HELOC that I could put on my house at this rate, at this term, maybe I'll talk to you. And I was polite, but I was like, I gotta go. Long story short, the guy proceeds to call me back an hour later, and he's like, hey, I just want to let you know that after we got off the phone, I Googled you. And I found that you were a lifeguard in Long Beach, New York from the years 1995 to 2000. Now, I don't know about you, but 1995 to 2000 is a long time ago. And ironically, if you're a lifeguard on the beach, you know that that was probably a pretty important time to you. I think every lifeguard who's on the beach, it's like a badge of honor. And he's like, I was a lifeguard on the beach up on the North Shore. I was like, that's so funny. And instantaneously, I was really impressed that this guy went a level deeper, right? He really found out, Googled me, some like real personal stuff about me on a very, very cool and exciting part of my life. And so I had to respect that, right? And so now this guy at least has my ear. I'm not saying I'm going to get a mortgage from him or a HELOC or a home equity line of credit, but he got my ear. And it really struck a chord. And so you want to get level 3 rapport. So level 1 is just the surface stuff, right? Persons, places, things, and you want to do that. You want to start there. Number 2 is when the seller, hopefully they're going to teach you something. And level 3 is that they give you something, right? So for me, when I was doing deals in person, I had a lady, she knew that I grew tomatoes, and she taught me all about tomatoes. And as a matter of fact, I still use the stuff that this lady taught me, right? But she taught me about some tomatoes. And then when I left, okay, she actually gave me a basket full of tomatoes from her garden. I left there with that. And I left with a contract on the deal, right? Level 1 is you talk, right? Surface stuff. Level 2 is they teach you something. And level 3 is they give you something. I had one of my team members, he got to drive around in a 1965 Camaro that the seller had. So they gave him a free ride in their Camaro, right? Another person got some classic records that they've always wanted. And so sometimes when a seller gives to you, it's almost like a bond, right? That you form. And so I always recommend building that level 3 rapport. And do that. And this is a continuous process. It just doesn't happen once. You build it up front, you build it during, and you build it after. It is ongoing. You're there to make a friend. Don't rush the deal. Don't push someone. Don't rush to business. People do business with people who they know, like, and trust. So be somebody who they know, like, and trust authentically. Don't rush it. Okay. Next thing, once you have that, it's time to dig into pain. Pain is where it all happens. If the seller is willing to sell to you at a price in which you're going to be able to make a profit, most likely there's some pain there that needs solving. You are going to help that pain and make a profit in the process. So you want to dig into that pain. Ask the seller what's happened in the past, ask the seller what's happened in the present, and ask them what's happened in the future regarding that property. Continually dig in and have them talking about the pain. My son-in-law hasn't paid rent for a year. The property needs repair, right? That's past and present. And if I have to pay the mortgage for 6 more months while he's living there for free, I'm going to lose my mind. That is past, present, future pain. You want to dig into that, reinforce it, get him to talk about it early and often. Pain, 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 pain. We are in the pain relieving business. So get them to talk about the pain so you can give them the prescription. You should feel the frustration. They should feel the frustration. They should be reminded why you are there. And by the end of that conversation, they want to get rid of the pain so much right then and there. They're sick of talking about it. They're going to sign that agreement, and you're going to help them and get paid handsomely in the process. After you do that, build more rapport, level 3 rapport, not the surface stuff. Take your time. After rapport, more pain. Next, you want to eliminate their other options, right? What I mean by eliminate other options, I mean have them eliminate their other options. Would you like to list the property? No, I don't want to do that. How about you rent it? No, I don't want to rent it. How about you fix it and flip it yourself? No, I don't have the time, patience, or energy. I don't want to do that. I just want to work with you. Eliminate all the options, become their only options, and this is done on the spot. Then you build more rapport, and then you develop more pain, and then rapport again. Take your time. Now, a good deal should be $35,000, $40,000, $50,000, maybe even six figures. Okay, we've done them all across there. So be prepared to spend 2, 3, 4 hours there if you have to. Do not rush unless you want a competitor to get the deal. Once you've eliminated all those options, you've built rapport, you're back to pain. I always like to say, Mr. Seller, what is the next step here? Okay, now, one of two things. Either they need to be led, or they're going to say, I guess, is there some kind of agreement? At that point, they say, yeah, sure, I got a simple 1.5-page agreement in the car. Would you like to get started on that? Super easy. They say yes, get the contract. If not, they might throw an objection at you, of which then you can handle. And also at the same time, if they give you an objection and then you can handle, then you pull away and say, hey, by the way, Mr. Seller, if I'm not a fit, you could tell me no. And if you say that, you pull away that one last time, hey, if you could tell me no, right? And if they come back to you, okay, now you've got the contract. But don't be scared to pull away or handle objection because you want to handle it up front. If at any point you go over the agreement and you feel any kind of hesitancy, call it out. Say, Mr. Seller, I see some hesitancy here. By the way, if you want to rip this up right now, no skin off my back. Okay, always pull away and be reluctant. And guess what? If it's meant to be, you will get that deal. You cannot kill the deal by pulling away or being reluctant. Can't do it because that's going to be a win for them and a win for you. And if you get that deal, you want it to stick. Get the contract signed, explain what's going to happen, close the deal, make the money, go to Hawaii, and I will give you a high five. Let me review here. Number one, many sellers may not feel like they're going to sign today. And it's your job, if they eventually decide to do business with you, to get them to commit to that process if you're a fit. You want to build level 3 rapport, not that surface crap. Go real deep. They should be teaching you something and giving you something if you do this the right way. Make it so that they don't want to work with anybody else. Have them describe their pain, past, present, and future pain. Build more rapport. Again, more pain. Have them eliminate their other options on the spot. Ask them what the next step is here. Have them say, is there some kind of agreement? Go get the agreement out of your car. If there's an objection, handle it. Pull away if you have to, right? Mr. Seller, it's okay. You can say no. No pressure, right? If at that point, if they come back to you, boom, you've got a win-win situation. You've got a contract. Take it to escrow, make the money, and man, I hope it is a juicy one. So don't forget to go to nextlevelwholesaling.com, take the assessment. Let me know what your score is or where you're at, where you need help, and I would love to hear your testimonials or a big deal. Email to support@nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com. Hit me up on Instagram. Maybe I'll give you a shout out on the show, and I will talk to you on the next episode.